Recording in progress. So I have muted the live crowd, and we are recording. Hopefully, Maggie, you can watch this later. We've been around checking the weather internally and checking. Excuse my dog. No. No. I hope this isn't going to go on. And arriving in the here and now. We will work from seated to begin with, and I feel like I've gone back to basics today, so we work carefully with perhaps individual joints, wrists, neck, ankles, toes, gradually as we go through, and hopefully warming up all the joints, and then we will move to standing towards the end. So if for a moment you can wriggle forwards a little bit to sit on the front of the chair and plant the feet carefully, so that you're feeling very stable. In a moment we'll do a little stretch, but closing the eyes and tuning in to the breath for a moment to really arrive here and now and to let go of the outside world. There's nothing we can do about it for this short time, so to try and release any worries that may be niggling at you so that you can focus on your body, yourself, for this short time. Inhaling and exhaling. Perhaps taking awareness to the heartbeat, that background. Awareness that the heart is forever beating. A lot of the time we're not aware of it. Bringing awareness back to the breath throughout the program, but opening the eyes now, and we will start mobilizing the spine. So do the first moves as small as you like, and then slowly, perhaps as the body warms up, or the shoulders, the elbows, the spine, you can start to do things a little bit more strongly. If you bring the palms together, you're sitting towards the front of your chair, and so there's not so much room here for me to sit further back so that you can see better, but with the palms together, you're just going to gently take the hands up and over the head, inhaling as you go. And then when the need to exhale comes, you're going to bring the arms back down to prayer position in front of the heart. And we'll continue with, say, 4 more of those. You're inhaling up. As you go, you're stretching, feeling that, shoulders, elbows, exhaling. Bringing the hands back down. 2. As we go, if you feel like you can stretch a little bit more and feel like you're lengthening the spine as well, all good. Well done. If it's too much to do 5, do stop. I think there's one more to go if you're going there. It's this feeling that we can create a little bit of space, and as we stretch upwards, we're making some space for the lungs and stretching the rib cage a little bit. Inhaling up. Well done. Well done. The beginnings of mobilizing the spine, and we'll get to the neck now. So this it's going to work the spine side to side. If it's okay, you're going to take the hands up above the head. Do make sure that the feet are planted strongly. Maybe the knees a little way apart, not strongly apart. But this time we're going to do a small sideways movement, the windblown tree from sitting. So you're not going too far. You're trying to keep buttocks in contact with the chair. You're not trying to fly solo, as it were. And feeling the stretch in the rib cage. If it's too much with the elbow, the arms up, maybe we do the little teapot movement where you're just bringing the elbow up and keeping the hand on the waist. It might work better for you, but it's feeling that we're getting a stretch on one side of the body and on one lung and then the other. If you'd like to coordinate the breath, then it's which way is it? Exhaling up, inhaling, so that you're inhaling more into one lung, exhaling, inhaling more into the other lung, exhaling. Feels a different stretch. Well done, Mike. Those arms are well up. Well done. Lovely. I'm useless at counting, but if you're aware that you perhaps start on the right and finish on the left, you've done an even number on both sides. Wonderful. Good stretches. Going to take us to the neck exercises to continue working the spine, free up the neck, but I think everyone knows these movements. The first one is looking up, inhaling, raising the chin, and looking down, exhaling. You're tucking the chin down and in, so that you're slightly feeling the stretch in the back of the neck. Again, we'll do 5. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Lovely. We've done the windblown tree, which has given the spine a bit of mobilizing, but now just the neck. So trying to keep the shoulders parallel and just getting a wee bit of a stretch. First one side and the other. I used to teach a young woman who was very capable in any and all yoga, and yet she loved to come back to these simple movements of focusing on one part of the body and really being aware of how it feels, how this mobilizing can help us feel more comfortable in the body for the rest of the day. Wonderful. I'm failing to count again. Apologies. But again, if in doubt, 5 each side. Yeah, begin to feel it. So next one again, and we'll do a twist for the lower spine in a moment, but small movement to start off with, make it bigger as you go, just turning to look over one shoulder So again, we're trying to keep the shoulders soft. Maybe as you go, the last couple, you can see if you can turn a little bit further. Don't push it. It's the benefits are there, and just making the movement. We'll do the last one, which I'll start you with. You're dropping the chin and sort of doing a half circle by turning to look to one side, dropping the chin in the middle, turning to look to the other side. If you're happy and confident with this, then maybe extend the half circle to a full circle, and perhaps looking up as you go up. It seems that as we get older, you don't want to be crunching these, making the small vertebrae in the top of the neck concertina too much. So just taking it easy. But for many, it's actually the mobilizing seems to help everything work better. Lovely. We've kept the shoulders still for a moment, but if we let them shrug up and then release, let them drop. These November mornings, I do seem to click and crunch and all sorts in the morning, so we can release some of that. If it's, again, I keep saying, if it feels okay to bring fingertips to your shoulders, then do. If it's too much, maybe just keep hands down onto the waist. From this position, you're, I hope, still sitting pretty upright and fairly forward on your chair, so that from this, we're just going to do a small rotation. So from here, you're turning to look over one shoulder, centering, and over to the other side. So as before, we'll do 5. If you exhale as you twist, inhale as you center, exhale as you twist, inhale, center. We're mobilizing now with this twist. Sort of mobilizing down to the waist. So we'll have to do a bit more work lower down with the hips in a while. Hopefully we're doing about 5. If, as I say, if it gets too much to have the arms up, turn, have them at the waist. Lovely. Give everything a shake because I want you to come back to that position. And we're working the elbows a little bit now to just opening and closing. I've noticed now as I get older and do yoga that I may be doing a pose and somebody's saying, well, you're working the elbows, but I'm feeling it in my spine. I'm feeling it somewhere else, that the spine is complaining, or So just take note, be in the present and take note of what your body's telling you. Lovely. If we've done about 5, we will stop. And as previously said, do stop at 3 or 4 if that's enough for you today. Little bit more for the arm, the upper body and the arms is to extend both arms in front of you now, and we'll do the same movement, but bringing the fingertips to the shoulders from extending them forwards in front. Turning up to 5 once more. Just keep making sure that the shoulders are not tense and shrugging up. Quite like sitting close to the monitor and then I can see you and so on, but I can see you. I like making sure that nobody's getting frustrated or uncomfortable. Perhaps just sitting a tiny bit further back on the chair so that we move to the lower body now, and do that movement where you're going to draw one knee up and see, working the hip a little bit. So just perhaps easing, drawing it in and softening, releasing. Whatever works for you, but maybe you're going to be feeling it in the hip, that you're starting to work the lower part of the body. I'm going to say, once again, five movements, and then we'll change sides. In some versions of yoga, you're lying on your back and drawing your knee up towards your chest to ease the hip. It's very similar, doing it from sitting. Lovely. This is where it gets awkward, but I'm hoping I can demonstrate. Maybe I'll stand up. Stay seated. I'll just show quickly. I wanted to move on, so we're going to draw the knee up again, but start moving the toes, so that as you hopefully a grasp that's comfortable enough, and just tucking the toes in and drawing them up. So it's a very small movement. We can want to just get the ankles to help, but for the time being, 4 or 5 movements with just the toes wriggling. As you're doing this movement, you can feel how all the muscles in the lower leg are working just to help move the toes. So then once we've done the toes, now we work the ankles. Yep, do release in between if that helps. So now you're pointing the toe, drawing the foot up. Again, 5 movements. And then we work, if you can, you're going to circle 3 or 4 times in one direction. This can really set off the sounds like a packet of crisps crunching. But your feet are so important. They are everything we do, we balance on our, we need our feet. So we need to keep them in good nick. We worked the right side, so we do the same with the left, and I'll see if I can do it from sitting. And once again, you're tucking the toes under. You don't have to stick your leg up in the air like this. Toes curling forward and drawing them back. 4 or 5 movements. It's kind of, as we focus on the toes, it's almost like you're waking them up. And there's a bit of a buzz. 5 wriggles of the toes. And then moving on to the ankle. And finally, the circling. Well done. The knee doesn't have to be, foot doesn't have to be far off the ground, but it does seem to warm the whole of the lower body up to work the feet like that. If for a moment you just close the eyes and tune into how the feet, lower legs feeling, can be a sense of tingling, buzzing. Opening the eyes. And I'm going to continue mobilizing different parts of the body. I think a position you're quite familiar with, taking the knees quite wide now. You're resting the hands on the knees. The elbow, is leaning forward a little bit, and the elbows sticking out if possible, so that I'm trying further. It's this movement where you're going to try and take the right elbow towards the left knee and look up and over your shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, you're centering. You're leaning forward a little bit as you try and draw the shoulder down towards the opposite knee. Inhaling up. One centering, exhaling to the other side. You're getting a stretch across the back, I am hoping. I'm busy watching you on the screen as well as talking, as well as demonstrating. So, but you're trying to look over your shoulder as you lean and feeling that stretch in the back. Ooh. Sort of moves down in towards the hips as well. If 5 feels good, go for the 5. If, as always, do less if necessary. Lovely. As you complete, we bring the knees closer together, but perhaps not touching, hip width apart. And we go into the cat movement from sitting. So you're once again leaning a little bit forward with hands on knees, and then the cat. As we're take the chin up, and perhaps bending the elbows a little bit and arching the back a little as you look up. And then as you bring the chin down, you're rounding the spine and tucking the chin in. And we go gently between these 2 points, looking up, inhaling. As you draw the chin down, exhale. Perhaps use the elbows a little bit to help you get from one place to the other. Lovely. Lovely. Yeah, everybody very focused and just this gentle movements. When you've done around about 5, you will move to the next. If blood pressure, hopefully if anyone has high blood pressure, it's monitored with tablets, but if it feels okay to slide down and forwards and into the approximate ragdoll movement, exhaling, dropping down, inhaling, perhaps just sliding the hands back up the knees. So you're just sliding down into as deep a forward bend as is comfortable for you. Dropping the head down, softening, inhaling, drawing the hands back up, coming up to sitting. That's lovely. Sense as you drop down that the body is soft, the upper body is soft, relaxed, ragdoll-like. Straightening up as you sit. Sit up again. That's lovely. Again, up to 5 movements. Lovely, well done. Before we come up to standing, I just wanted to do a little bit with the hands and fingers. I'll show you, I think we may have done this before with you. You can do this where you touch thumb to first finger, second, third, fourth. So it's just, you're just touching thumb to each finger in turn, starting with the forefinger and working to the little finger rather than back and forth. And then there's a little phrase you can say, sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. A little bit of pressure as you exert, as you press thumb and finger together. Ta, na, ma. It's quite an interesting exercise, and we do it with the other hand as well. It works on different levels, but one I quite like is our coordination. Sometimes the coordination feels dreadful, and actually getting the little finger and the thumb to meet is, you're thinking, God, I should be able to do that. It has neurological benefits as well, which I don't quite recall the details, but I know it's doing me good. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. It gets the fingers working individually and just loosens them up a little bit. Lovely. Just give the hands a shake. Again, if we're carrying tension, shake it out. Coming slowly towards standing, but one last seated movement. Seated, I'm hoping you can see enough. I'll move the camera if not. Again, sometimes with Lucy, she gets you to turn, move this down. It's a kind of seated warrior position. So you've turned from sitting facing front, planted one foot, say to the right side, but you're extending the back leg. So you're in this warrior position. More often than not, it's without a chair, but we're doing it with the chair. Just see how the hips feel with that. That movement or that position. The back foot is kind of braced against the floor, so that if you were standing, you would have your arms out like this. What I'd quite like us to do is holding the leg position. Do this to the other side as well. That instead of just the warrior, we're going to practice being the archer. So if you bring turning the upper body to face the front knee, and the archer, if you have both hands extended in front of you, say your right hand is grasping that's it, Mike, grasping the bow, and you draw the left hand back to somewhere near your ear. And then, as though you've released the arrow, you then take the left hand back to the right hand and try again. You're drawing another bow. Your elbow's quite high, lovely. It looks great. You make as though you've released that arrow, and we'll do one more. And as you draw the hand and arm back, that's feeling of a little bit of tension, as though you were pulling, what would that be, the string bit that creates some tension before you're releasing your arrow. Lovely. And with the legs in that position, quite a strong move. We do the same to the other side. So centering again, wriggling round. But now facing the other direction, extending that leg behind you, coming into almost a warrior pose. If it puts anybody into pain, then do modify. So that's our warrior. Then you're turning to face that front knee, bringing your arms now in front of you. We're going to draw back with the other hand. So this time, depending on which way we're doing it, the left hand is holding the bow, the right hand drawing back. So your elbow that you're drawing back is somewhere level with your ear. As you release that arrow, you get ready to pull again, drawing back with a little bit of tension. Lovely. Aiming your arrow, you're looking along that front hand, that front thumb. And we'll try 3 this side, or the same number as you did on the other side. Lovely. Drawing back, releasing. Well done. Lovely. Going to bring you up to standing, but probably fairly quickly. As always, have a chair handy, or the back of the chair handy, to give yourself a little bit of support. I'm going to be doing various movements that require looking at the feet, but I'm hoping I can talk you through this one. Simple enough, feet hip width apart, that you're rocking forward so that you're coming onto your toes, balancing a little bit, and rocking back so that you're coming onto your heels. So that's that back and forth movement. You're coming onto your toes, rocking back onto your heels, onto your toes, stretching. As much of a stretch as you can manage. So maybe that's kind of a strong stretch on the toes, or back onto the heels. Notice where you feel it. Is it the calves? Is it the knees, the ankles? I'll keep my face in it. And then to do 1 or 2 of our cross crawl type moves, the one where you're just tapping to the opposite knee. If it feels okay, you can take the arm up and draw the elbow to the knee. Higher, I should say. Lovely. We move on to tapping to the side. Taking the leg out to the side. Opposite arm in the air. Again, if taking the arm out too much is hard work, or you want to keep your balance, then use the... Well done, well done. Moving gently on. One of the more difficult ones, I think, is raising the leg up in front. So if it's too much to raise the extended leg, oops, is she falling over? Keep the knee bent, but otherwise extending a little bit further. Lovely. I'm not counting, but I think these are warming. Mike, if it's too much, do sit down. But you're doing all right. Yeah, good. Wanting us to move the next one to tapping the toe behind. That's lovely. Lovely. These are good for everything. The cross crawl seems to have amazing effects on our well-being. And nicely warming, I hope. Well done, well done. Taking you through it today. I wasn't sure if we'd do all of them. There's one where you're taking the knee out to the side and just aiming to touch the heel this time. Works the hips a little. One final one, if Lucy doesn't, is to see if you can touch the foot behind, but maybe you just make the action without actually touching the heel, but so it doesn't matter if you don't touch it, but if you can. It's opposites again, so right hand to left heel and left hand to right heel. Lovely. Oh, well done. We'd stop for a moment if you're okay standing. Stay standing, feet hip width apart, but tune into your breath for a moment. Just we've worked quite fast. I think the heart is perhaps beating a little bit faster, and we can just watch as we follow the breath coming back to resting rate. We're not changing it in any way. It slows down automatically, and you can notice the heartbeat as well, that it's beating fast, and then as it all comes back to resting rate. If it feels nice, you can have fingertips on abdomen, chest. Well done. Lovely. Opening the eyes. I'll just do the one more before we sit again. I think one that Lucy does quite regularly is knees fairly far apart. She brings you down, and then you're rising up. She can be the other way, can it? I don't know. It's for me at the moment, it's as much about bending the knees, and so we're working the back, sorry, not the back, the hips, the knees, the ankles. Well done. So if the arms movements make it awkward, just keep hands on the hips and practice with bending the knees. Just giving the thigh muscles a little bit of work. Well done. And 4 or 5 moves, bending and straightening the legs. Bring us back down to sitting, and we'll put on anything to keep warm now, so that you don't cool off. Sometimes people like to lie down for this last 5 minutes, but if you're happy sitting, all good. just to do a small breathing exercise before we go to the relaxation side of things. Have you done this breath where you're imagining that you're taking a small sip of breath in, and you do 5 of these, and then you allow the breath to glide or slide out. I imagine that you're at the playground at the children, where the children's slide is, and each sip of breath is like climbing up the steps on the slide, and the exhale is like going down the slide. You're trying to do this, you're not stressing the lungs in any way. This little visualization, if it helps, of stepping up. When the lungs are full, you're then allowing the breath to glide out. And then with the lungs empty, once more you're climbing the steps, sipping that breath in. The lungs are full and the breath glides out. We all have slightly different lung capacity. It may be that you want to count for 3 or 4, or it may be that you need to inhale for 6 or 7. So through these practices, just finding out what works for you. And taking one more breath in this way. And allowing the breath to come back to normal, whatever that is, resting rate. So for a short moment, you focused on the breath and you kept your attention on the breath. I'm now going to, if you with your eyes closed, going to take your awareness around the parts of the body fairly quickly. If your attention can move from part to part as I mention it, you can repeat that name to yourself. We will go around the whole body in this way. See how it feels afterwards. It's an interesting practice. So we're moving attention now from the breath. I'm going to take it down to the right hand, thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the right hand, back of the hand, the right wrist, lower arm, forearm, elbow, upper arm, the right shoulder, armpit, side, waist, hip, thigh, the right knee, back of the knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, sole, instep, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Moving to the left side of the body and the left hand, thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, the palm, back of the hand, left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, armpit, side, waist, hip, thigh, left knee, back of the knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, sole, instep, the left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Be aware of the whole of the right arm, whole of the left arm, whole of the right leg, whole of the left leg, right buttock, left buttock, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade. Be aware of the whole of the spine, the whole of the back of the neck, back of the head, the top of the head. Be aware of the forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, mid eyebrow center, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, nose, tip of the nose, the upper lip, lower lip, the lips together, the chin, the throat, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, center of the chest, navel, abdomen, the groin, being aware of the whole of the front of the body and the whole of the back of the body, the back and front together. Awareness of the whole body, the whole body. And returning awareness one more time to the breath, the in-breath and the out-breath. Awareness of the present moment, being here and now. In your own time, bringing awareness back into the fingers, perhaps moving fingers and toes gently. Moving the head and the neck a little from side to side. And we've reached the end of our class. Thank you very much for being here today. I will switch off the recording. I've lost it. Seem to have lost. There we are. Stopped recording.